Was a very one-sided affair just then, but I really want to talk about the mid lane matchup you had today. They showed the Lucian early, you picked up the LeBlanc, and before 15 minutes, you were 1,000 gold up against him. How did that matchup go, and how did you play that one to get so far ahead?
Honestly, I think it's kind of an even matchup, but whereas Lucian is strong early game, but then eventually when LeBlanc gets levels and XPs, you can eventually start to just out-trade him. Since I had an early gank, it really snowballed the matchup in my favor because I was able to hold the minion wave on my side when his flash was down, so he had to play really respectfully. So I think just off of the level 3 gank, there's not really much he could have done differently, besides maybe putting the jungler mid lane to try to help out. Because if you don't have flash versus LeBlanc and your lane is deep in the enemy side, then you're in a pretty bad spot, and I think that's kind of just what happened. I think it just snowballed a lot off of the early game, and then eventually LeBlanc kind of wins out in that matchup, but since I had a really good early game, it was just, pretty easy from the get-go.
Well, that's great to hear because you burnt both your flashes to try and get that kill there, and it's great to see you were still able to get a huge advantage out of that. I really want to talk about coming into play-ins this year because last year's Worlds, you guys didn't go as far as you really wanted to. This time around, it's an even longer journey being seeded into the play-in stage. How has that affected, how you've prepared coming into this tournament, how you've practiced coming into the play-in stage?
Honestly, I wouldn't say it has changed our practice much. I think we kind of just have the same approach. We're not playing disrespectfully or anything. We respect our opponents. We don't know too much about them, so they could, potentially be really good as well. So we're kind of just doing the same thing as usual, practicing a lot and, respecting our opponent, and hopefully we can do well.
Well, your next match here today is going to be up against the Direwolves, and now their top laner has come out on Twitter after the group draw and said that he is going to destroy Impact, to which Impact has come out and replied to say that he has no idea who he is. I know you've had very similar words after the group stage draw. How do you feel about this matchup going into the Direwolves next?
I mean, I don't really know too much about them, so it's kind of like Impact said, we don't really know much about them. We don't really know who they are, so we're just going to play our style, and I think we're definitely going to be the better team, so I think we should be able to pull out a win here.
Well, congratulations on your victory. Best of luck against the Direwolves later on today. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Gold jewelry shining so bright, strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like.